environmentally sustainable and economically sustainable.
That will most likely have an impact on surgery.
I'm Alex Turner.
And I'm Nick Birnie.
I'll tell you how to get over those first-time blood donor jitters.
And Inky the octopus has slimed her way to freedom. Well, that and much more coming up later on today's show.
Welcome to Ignite News. I'm Alex Turner.
And I'm Nick Birnie. So here's what's making news.
No one has been seriously injured after a discarded cigarette caused a balcony to go up in smoke during an early morning high-rise blaze in Stony Creek. Emergency crews were called to 40 Granville Avenue just after 6 Thursday morning, following reports of heavy fire coming from a fourth-floor balcony. All residents were evacuated safely, with one adult male being treated for smoke inhalation at the scene. The damage is estimated to be around $5,000.
An octopus has made a successful dash for freedom. Yes, you are not hearing that wrong. An octopus has escaped from an aquarium in New Zealand and is now thought to be roaming the Pacific Ocean. Inky, the octopus, escaped earlier this year, but the story has finally gained some media attention. Inky happens to be one of 2 octopi at the National Aquarium, took his chance to escape through a small gap in his enclosure, and then he slimed his way, across the floor to freedom through a 6-inch drain pipe that luckily for Inky led to the sea. Manager Rob Yarrow said that Inky managed to make his way through the drain hole and through the drain hole back to the ocean, but he didn't even leave us a message. He also says that it's an unusual occurrence, of course, but now they'll be keeping a much closer eye on the other octopus.
There are plenty of activities going on around Hamilton this weekend. Let's check in with Dale Lamontagne for this week's community calendar.
I'm Dale Lamontagne, and this is your community calendar for this week. As every Friday, Fish Fry Fridays will take place this week on April 22nd at the Royal Canadian Legion on Barton Street East, beginning at 4 p.m. There will be a tribute to Johnny Cash called the Ring of Fire, and it will take place on Saturday, April 23rd at 8 p.m. at the Black Bull Neighborhood Pub in Burlington, Ontario. It's a free show. The annual City of Hamilton Public Works compost giveaway at the Valley Park in Stony Creek will begin on Monday, April 25th at 8 a.m., running till 5 p.m. Make sure to bring your own shovel and bucket. And that's your community calendar for this week.
The Mohawk Student Association offers many important services to students, and the MSA Food Bank is one that is used quite often. Ignite News reporter Kayla Perna has much more.
For over 20 years, Mohawk College has been providing helpful services to its students, such as the MSA Food Bank. Started by a past MSA president, full-time and international students can start the food bank application process by visiting the MSA offices near the Arnie. David Wilson is the manager of the food bank.
MSA Food Bank was started 25 years ago, well, almost 26 now, because we're in 2016, by Paul Audie, who is a past president. We buy all our food directly from a retail supplier, big warehouse full of stuff. It's all brand new, good dates on it, everything. We try and keep healthy choices. They come in to the front desk, they fill out a short form, it's just a questionnaire, and it helps us record our usages, so when we go to the budget meetings we can provide the service in a better way once we know how much we're using. It takes about 5 minutes, and then they'll walk out with a bag of food.
Food bank is a necessity for many students. Its importance is not underestimated. Wendy Rolfe, who is the Student Services Manager, spoke about the impact the food bank has on Mohawk students.
I think they really appreciate it. A lot of students who come in are single parents, so they're not only feeding themselves, but they have children at home that they have to look after. So they find it very, very valuable. Students really like that we have some toiletry items that they can choose from as well. So they can pick like toilet paper or shampoo or deodorant, just small little things like that that we can add to the bag.
For Ignite News, I'm Kayla Perna.
There's still a lot of stories that we have to share with you coming up, but let's take a look.
Spring is finally starting to show its face with lots of sun and warmer temperatures. All that and more later on.
It was a historic night in the NBA.
How many times have you been encouraged to donate blood? Ignite News reporter Madison Fitzpatrick found out the real impact that donating blood has.
Hi, I'm Madison Fitzpatrick here at the Canadian Blood Services Clinic in Ancaster, where people are donating blood. Let's take a look inside.
We follow Zach Hiscock, who is a first-time blood donor. Denise Saunier, the territory manager for the Canadian Blood Services, explains the donation process donors go through.
You come in, you'll bring your ID with you, you'll want to eat and drink before you come in. Once you're here, they're going to check your hemoglobin to make sure that's high enough to donate that day. There is a questionnaire that you'll fill out. You'll visit with a screening nurse who will take your temperature and your blood pressure to make sure you're healthy enough to donate that day. And then you'll go over to the area where you donate blood. That only takes about 10 minutes, and then you'll rest for a little while to make sure you're feeling well, and then of course you get juice and cookies, which is the best part, and you leave here knowing that you saved somebody's life.
Zach says his first time donating blood was simple.
Yes, my first time donating blood was a lot less painful than I expected. I have family members that have needed blood transfusions, and well, I always hear the radio ads saying that they're short, so I figured if I could help, why not just go out and do it. You know, it's not as horrible, it's not painful, you're helping people. If you're nervous about it, the people are really friendly, they're not going to pressure you into anything. If you're not comfortable, then you don't have to do it, kind of thing. It's just really great if you do.
Well, blood can't be manufactured, so we need people to come in and donate blood. There are many reasons why people might need blood. Somebody, for instance, who gets in a car accident could use 50 units of blood at one time. Somebody going through cancer treatment can use 5 to 8 units per week, so there's a constant need for blood.
If you would like to donate, you can go to www.canadianbloodservices.ca. For Ignite News, I'm Madison Fitzpatrick.
This weekend, we will finally start to see some normal spring temperatures. So let's go to Samantha Hoover, who has our weather report. Sam?
Thanks, Nick. Well, it looks like spring is finally starting to show its face. Expect to see nothing but sun throughout Hamilton and the GTA today. It's still a bit chilly with temperatures of 3, 4, and 5 degrees in the GTA, but don't worry, things will warm up in a few short days. In London and farther southwest in Windsor, temperatures are similar at 3 and 6 degrees with lots of sun. Moving into Hamilton weather for the next 24 hours, this evening will be clear with a temperature of 3 degrees feeling like -2. Overnight, the temperature will drop to 0 and will feel like -4. Tomorrow morning will bring the sun back with a temperature of 2 degrees, but feeling like -2. Now let's take a look and see what the next 5 days have in store for us. As exam time approaches, it may be harder to focus on your studies. It'll be warming up significantly within the next few days. Tomorrow will be sunny with a high of 11 and a low of 2. Saturday will stay sunny with a high of 14 and a low of 3. Sunday will be beautiful with a high of 19 degrees and a low of 7. Monday will see some clouds, but will stay warm at 19 degrees with a low of 4. The clouds will follow into Tuesday with a high of 13 and a low of 4. So enjoy the weekend. It's looking pretty nice. That's it for weather. Let's find out what's going on in sports with Kyle Medeiros. Kyle?
Right into it. Last night marked the end of the 2015-16 NBA regular season, and there was 2 big games everyone was focused on. Kobe Bryant's farewell tour came to an end against Utah in front of his home crowd last night, and what a show it was. Thanks to his teammates' willingness to pass him the ball, Mamba scored 60 points, including the go-ahead basket and insurance free throws with less than a minute to go in a thrilling 101-96 win. It was the 6th time in Kobe's historic career he was able to reach that number. Kobe became the first player in NBA history to put up more than 30 points in his final game, the oldest player to ever put up more than 50, and the only player to retire playing for one team for 20 years. As Kobe said in his post-game speech, "You can't write something better than this." From former MVP to current Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors accomplished something last night many fans and critics thought would never happen. With a 125-104 win over the Grizzlies, Oakland's finest broke the single-season NBA wins record, advancing to an improbable 73-9 record. Earlier this month, the Warriors became just the second team in NBA history to reach 70 wins after Michael Jordan's legendary 95-96 Chicago Bulls, who went 72-10. Jordan congratulated the Warriors after the game, adding, quote, "Records are made to be broken." Curry put up 46 points in the win. Toronto Raptors also set their own regular season record last night. Behind rookie Norman Powell's career-high 30 points, the Raps beat the Brooklyn Nets 103-96. The win moved the Raptors to a 56-26 record. That is 7 more wins than their previous high. The second-seeded team will open the NBA playoffs this Saturday at 12:30 p.m. against the Indiana Pacers. NHL playoffs started last night with 3 games. The first game of the night saw the injury-plagued Tampa Bay top Detroit 3-2. The Stamkos Lightning relied heavily on the triplets line, and they delivered, with Kucherov adding 2 goals of his own. Sidney Crosby and the Penguins opened up against the New York Rangers. It was a tale of goalies as Pittsburgh started third-stringer Jeff Zatkoff against King Henrik for New York. But the Rangers' star goalie didn't make it past the first as he got teammate Mark Stahl's stick in his eye. Antti Raanta came in for the Rangers but was unable to outduel Zatkoff, handing the Penguins a 5-2 win. Well, the final game saw Chicago and St. Louis enter overtime 0-0. After some outstanding back-and-forth action, it was the Blues who came out on top. Captain David Backes threw a puck in front of the Blackhawks net that bounced off Chicago defenseman Trevor Van Riemsdyk and into the net. The 1-0 win gave the Blues a 1-0 series lead. Brian Elliott made 35 saves in the shutout. And so that's it for sports today. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Kyle. If you're looking for a cheap but tasty meal, we have our own experienced chef, Jordan Caprice, with a twist on the classic college craft dinner meal.
Hi, welcome back to Lazy Susan. I'm Jordan Caprice, filling in for Chef Mike Susan. This week we know it's exam time and everyone's running a little bit low on money, so with that we're sticking to a little bit of a cheaper meal. We've got craft dinner, and in that craft dinner we're going to add some jalapenos and pepperettes, and then as a side we're going to have some garlic bread and a little bit of Havarti melted on top. Okay, so we're going to start by just cutting the bread in half, and then once the bread's cut we're going to add the butter and garlic, and then on top of that we're going to melt the Havarti cheese. So I'm just going to butter up my bread here. And as I'm doing that, it's important to get your water going so everything times out well. So what I've got here is a garlic press. And if you don't have one of these at home, that's fine. You can just mince your garlic up. Okay, so we're just adding the cheese to the garlic bread right now. We chose Havarti, but you can add whatever kind of cheese you like. So just putting the garlic bread in the oven now. I've got it at 400, so you're going to want to keep your eye on it because you don't want the cheese to burn. Okay, so we're cooking 2 boxes of craft dinner here. So we're gonna add 3 jalapenos into it. It's gonna be a lot of spice, but with the cheese and everything, it'll balance out. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut the pepperettes up now. It's pretty self-explanatory. You cut them up like you would a hot dog or anything sliced that you wanna go on your craft dinner. Whenever you're cooking pasta, it's important to add a little bit of salt to the water for flavor. And then as well, we're just gonna drop our noodles in here. I don't know about you guys at home, but it's getting pretty hot in here. While the noodles are straining, we're just gonna take a little bit of butter and add it into the same pot that the noodles were cooking in, because who likes doing dishes, right? Okay, so it turns out we let these strain for a little bit too long, so it's a little bit clumpy. But that's all right, we're gonna add it back into the bowl that the jalapenos and pepperettes are frying in. Okay, so the cool thing about this is, if it doesn't taste good, it sure looks cool. So that's it, our exam week special. Craft dinner with jalapenos and pepperettes, and then a side of garlic bread. Thanks for watching, I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Thanks, Jordan. You can come over and cook for me anytime. Over the past 9 years, Cardinal Newman High School in Stony Creek has seen an increase in student interest for their co-op program, and Ignite News reporter Taylor Mezzalira has more.
Cardinal Newman's 9th annual career fair took place this past Wednesday to inform students about the opportunities that co-op placement can bring.
Basically what's going on is the career fair. So for our co-op, everyone has created a little PowerPoint presentation to show off what they're doing at their co-op, how it's going, what they plan to do in the future, and how the co-op basically benefits them.
We spoke with Angelica Frazada, who did her high school co-op at the Juravinsky Hospital.
This is beneficial because you get to see an idea of like what you want to do in your co-op placement, and like even if co-op's for you, because if you don't know, you could just see, and like that's how I got started my co-op placement. I seen it last year. I'm like, oh, like why not try it? Like you can't go wrong.
Co-op students are interviewed by their placements as if it were a real-life job.
And we interview these students to make sure that they're a right fit and that we then match them to an employer. They're interviewed by the employer, and then just like any other job, they have to have a resume and they have to have a job interview.
Students will continue their placements until the end of the school year in hopes to find out what direction they want to go for post-secondary education. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Taylor Mezzalira.
A 12-year-old boy is safe after slipping into fast-moving water at Spencer Creek in Dundas. Emergency crews were called to the creek around 3:30 Wednesday afternoon after the boy attempted to sit on a concrete slab and slipped into the water. The boy was in the water for about 20 minutes and was swept down the river. Firefighters performed a successful rope rescue, calling the incident a tragedy averted. Emergency crews are warning residents to stay clear of fast-moving water, which can turn dangerous at any second.
A senior detective has come forward with information on the arrests of 2 men accused of killing Beverly Perrin. Staff Sergeant Steve Harab, who spent 18 months on the case, said the charges against Chris McCullough and Nick Nossie were made despite serious doubts about the witness testimonies. Now, McCullough and Nossie are now suing Hamilton police for $10 million. Terry Pierce and his 16-year-old girlfriend at the time, Tammy Walton, were first called in and questioned, and over time, police have determined that both were changing their stories by the hour. Now, Perrin was an elementary school teacher, ended up disappearing, on February 13th of 1989 from the parking lot of an East Hamilton grocery store. And then her partly frozen body was found 2 days later in a farm field in Stony Creek.
Just in time for summer, Leah Mummery shows us how to use the outdoors as our own gym for a full body workout. Let's check in on this week's Fit Tips.
Hey Mohawk, it's Leah Mummery back with this week's Fit Tips, and as you can see, spring is finally here, so I thought no better time to do an outdoor workout. So grab some water and some running shoes and let's get started. Your first move is going to be a lunge. Stand with your back to the bench and hook the toes of one foot onto the seat. Hop forward with the foot that's on the ground so that your back leg is outstretched. Bend your forward leg into a lunge so that your leg is at a 90-degree angle. Next, we're going to be moving on to step-ups. To start, place your entire right foot onto the bench. Press through your right heel as you step onto the bench, bringing your left foot up to meet your right so that you are completely standing on the bench. Return to the starting position by stepping down with the right foot and then the left so that both feet are on the ground. Next, we're going to be working those abs with biceps. Sit on the edge of the bench with your hands next to you for balance. Lean back slightly and lift your legs off the ground, keeping your knees straight until your torso and legs form a V. Whew. What a workout. Thank you so much for watching Mohawk, and make sure to take advantage of this gorgeous weather while it's still around.
Bowmanville Zoo owner Michael Hackenberger has been charged with 5 counts of animal cruelty after a video surfaced of him training a Siberian tiger. The Ontario SPCA began their investigation following a video which was made public in December showing Hackenberger repeatedly whipping Uno, the male Siberian tiger. Hackenberger insists he only whipped the animal 3 times, hitting him once in the paw when the tiger attempted to claw another trainer. The Ontario SPCA will closely monitor all animals at the zoo while they continue their investigation.
Halton Regional Police are searching for 3 suspects following a break-in at Solid Gold Strip Club in Burlington around 4 a.m. Tuesday. Investigators believe 2 people who were inside the club ran out the front door following the arrival of the police on scene. When officers eventually entered, though, they found no one inside. A glass door at the back of the strip club was smashed and is believed to be the point of entry. Police, though, have released footage of 2 suspects who were wearing hoodies.
Now, let's hear from Madison Fitzpatrick for our update in the entertainment world.
Orange is the New Black's Ruby Rose is making headlines as she recently responded to female fans saying that Rose turned them gay. Rose has an androgynous style which has made herself a girl crush for many fans. Rose responded with, quote, "When people say to me that I turn them gay, I just laugh, because that's not really even a possibility. It sounds like I did something against their will in the middle of the night, as if I crept into their brain and pushed the gay button. Then did an evil laugh and left them to fend for themselves, newly gay and alone in the world." Talk about going viral. 2 Washington, D.C. brothers pranked their little sister after she got her wisdom teeth removed. Still sedated, they pranked her, trying to think that there's a zombie apocalypse happening, The video was so popular, being on YouTube with 13 million views, that they were on Ellen Today. Let's take a look.
You're gonna need to defend yourself. I can't be with you the whole time, okay? Look, this is how you use it. Safety's right here. Pull this. Try. I need you to see you do it, okay? You gotta hold it up. If anything comes, hold the weapon. Hold it up. No, hold it up. Hold it up, okay? You got it? We can only take 1 pet. Which pet? The cat or the dog?
The cat! You idiot!
Okay.
No!
What do we do with the dog?
He's the worst! He's already dying! Just leave him!
Okay,
Get the cat!
Okay, I got the cat.
Baby.
Mom said we're leaving the dog.
Okay, that's fine.
Amazing. In other news, Charlie Sheen's ex-wife, Brooke Mueller, is claiming Sheen owes her $85,000 in child support. Sheen is said to pay $55,000 per month towards the couple's 7-year-old twins. Mueller says that Sheen has only paid $21,000 for the month of March and April. Mueller is now asking the Los Angeles court to intervene to make him pay. That's it for entertainment. Now, back to the news desk.
Thanks, Madison. Well, exams are finally here and the semester is almost over. If you're a gamer, hopefully you'll have some free time on your hands. Here's what you can look forward to this summer.
There are a lot of great games coming out this summer. Here are just a few that Ignite News gamers are really excited to play. It's our summer video games preview. Let's get started. Sony Computer Entertainment and Naughty Dog's landmark adventure series Uncharted finally returns with the May 10th release of A Thief's End. Nathan Drake returns with old friends and his long-lost brother Sam to explore, tackle puzzles, and unlock ancient secrets. After the success of The Last of Us, Naughty Dog has been hard at work to bring us the biggest adventure in the Uncharted series to date. Could this be Nathan Drake's last adventure? We'll just have to wait and see. The next big franchise from Blizzard Entertainment comes in the form of team-based multiplayer first-person shooter, Overwatch. Teams of 6 will duke it out all over the world with a cast of colorful heroes, each with their own special abilities, from offensive and defensive specialists to tank and supporting roles. Think Team Fortress 2, cranked to 11. Set in a near-future Earth, this colorful FPS brings a unique style and energetic, challenging gameplay May 24th on PC, PS4, and Xbox. And now for something completely different. Hello Games takes you to a seemingly infinite universe in the exploration survival epic No Man's Sky. Players will travel to procedurally generated galaxies and planets to explore, trade, fight, and survive. This open universe is speculated to include over 18 quintillion planets, each with their own unique creatures, plant life, and relics to discover. Players are encouraged to race to the center of the universe, as everyone plays on the same server, though it's said you could play for countless hours without ever encountering anyone else. The possibilities of No Man's Sky are endless, and we can't wait to take flight June 21st on PC and PS4. There's a lot of great games to look forward to this summer. Just don't forget to go outside every once in a while.
One shot, one kill.
Have you ever tried do-it-yourself makeup? On this week's Beauty on a Budget, we'll show you how to DIY your own lip scrub and lip balm.
Today on Beauty on a Budget, we'll be showing you how to make your own lip scrub and balm. You will need a bowl, tablespoon, teaspoon, brown sugar, honey, coconut oil, and peppermint. Take 1 tablespoon of brown sugar and put it in a bowl. Take a teaspoon of honey and add it to the bowl. Next, add 2 drops of peppermint. If your consistency isn't quite right, add some coconut oil. And lastly, mix it all up. Next, grab your small container and put your scrub inside. And if you want, add a bow to finish the look. Now, onto the lip balm. You will need vitamin C, peppermint, jojoba oil, and Vaseline. First, add as much Vaseline you think you will need into a bowl. Next, pour a teaspoon of jojoba oil in with the Vaseline. Then, pour a couple drops of peppermint and vitamin C into the mix. Now, mix it all together. Again, pour the mixture into a small container and add a bow for a finished look. And there you have it. If you don't have small containers handy, you can always use a contact case. Thanks for watching Beauty on a Budget. See you next time.
McMaster students have taken to social media to warn fellow students about multiple on-campus sexual assaults. Students used Facebook to report instances of young men aggressively grabbing, yelling, and inappropriately touching women during the campus's Light Up the Night event on Friday. Hamilton police have confirmed they're investigating these alleged assaults. Photos and descriptions of the suspects can be found on Facebook's Spotted at Mac page.
Hamilton Public Health is advising those with a high risk of contracting rabies to invest in pre-exposure vaccines. Now, pre-exposure vaccines are targeted at anyone handling animals. This would include vets, vet techs, hunters, and trappers. Now, Suzanne Harding-Cruz, who's the vector-borne disease manager for public health, says it can take from about 10 days all the way up to about 7 years for symptoms to show, but on average it does take about 3 weeks. Now, the city of Hamilton has reported a total of 72 cases of rabies since December of 2015. For public health, the December outbreak does raise a significant cause for concern.
With the school year coming to a close, Ignite News reporter Liam Graham asked Mohawk students about their worst summer job experience so far.
My worst summer job was probably working at a corner store 4 hours north of here with no air conditioning.
I was working at the candy store, and first off, they made us do things that we should be clean, but the place wasn't even clean. And there were a lot of old, weird people down there.
My worst job summer experience would probably be stripping paint. There was a lot of it, and the fumes just, my eyes would just go a little crazy.
If you're in the market for a new camera that is affordable but doesn't lack in recording quality, Peter Lorimer from Henry's in Ancaster has some cameras that just might work for you.
This is Peter from Henry's in Ancaster. Today we're going to be talking about 4K and some alternatives in SLR cameras, interchangeable lens camera systems that allow you to record video and stills for both family and sometimes professional. We have the Canon 70D, which is a tried and true both still camera and video recording tool. It has a touch screen for focus pulling. You can just touch the screen and it will go to where you touch the screen for focusing. and it takes 20 megapixel pictures, and it has 1080 by 1920 or high definition video quality. And right now we are talking about the Sony a6000 camera as a nice budget family camera, easy to use. It doesn't have a touch screen, but it does have a tilting articulating screen, so you can angle it out, so you can tilt it down so you can look down at something. You can shoot at a lower level, kid's eye or dog's eye view of the world. Small, but also considered an interchangeable lens camera because the lens does come off. And if you want to grow with the camera, add other lenses, get more into specialized things like portrait work, landscape, you can get super wide angle lenses to get more into the shots. Pretty much whatever you can imagine, you can do it with this camera because it does exceptionally fast focusing at 11 frames per second and 1080 by 1920 high definition video in AVC HD-S, which is a professional video codec as well. Another alternative, a little Panasonic, again interchangeable lens camera, a little bit smaller sensor but also makes for smaller lenses, so it's a lighter weight system. Has a touch screen, fully articulates out so you can point it towards yourself or hold it at odd angles. And touchscreen on this guy, still does 4K video, and nice and lightweight, easy to use, and of course you can still go full manual if you need to as well.
That's all for Ignite News today. For more news coverage, you can check out our website at ignitenews.ca or on Twitter at Ignite Online. I'm Nick Birnie.
And I'm Alex Turner. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.